school books with you. There's nothing wrong with me.
Now, be good and we'll have you up in no time.
That's no way to speak to a woman who's nearly 80 years old. I'd have you to respect your elders, young man.
Well, Missy, I've got to warn you, you're a marvel, but if you don't be careful, you're gonna end up good and sorry.
Don't tell me what I'm going to be. I'm on my feet now, morally speaking. It's Cornelia. I had to go to bed to get rid of her.
Well, stay where you are. It certainly can't hurt you.
Get along, doctor. You're sick. Leave a well woman alone. I'll call for you when I want you. Where were you 40 years ago when I pulled through this milk leg and double pneumonia? You weren't even born. Don't let Cornelia lead you on. She was never like this.
Well, what can we expect? She's 80 years old.
Cornelia, so good and dutiful that I'd like to spank her.
What'd you say, Mother?
Can anybody think I'd like to know?
I thought you wanted something.
I do. I want a lot of things. First off, go away and don't whisper.
Tomorrow was far away and there was nothing to trouble about. The things were finished somehow when the time came. Thank God there was a little margin over for peace. Then a person could spread out the plan of life and tuck the edges orderly. It was good to have everything clean and folded away, with the hairbrushes and tonic bottles sitting straight on the white embroidered linen. The day started without fuss and the pantry shelves laid out with rows of jelly glasses and brown jugs and white stone china jars with blue whirligigs and words painted on those letters tied up. She had spent so much time preparing for death there was no need bringing it up again. Let it take care of itself for now. When she was 60, she had felt very old, finished, and went around making farewell trips to see her children and grandchildren with a secret in her mind. This was the very last of your mother, children. Then she made her will and came down with a long fever. That was all just a notion like a lot of other things, but it was lucky too, for she had once and for all got over the idea of dying for a long time. Now she couldn't be worried. She hoped she had better sense now. Her father had lived to be 102 years old and had drunk a noggin of strong hot toddy on his last birthday. He told the reporters it was his daily habit and he owed his long life to that. He made quite a scandal and was very pleased about it. She believed she'd just played Cornelia a little.
Cornelia, Cornelia! Bless you, where have you been?
Yes, Mother?
I want a noggin of hot toddy.
Are you cold, darling?
I'm chilly, Cornelia.
In her day, she had kept a better house and had got more work done. She wasn't too old for Lydia to be driving 80 miles for advice when one of the children jumped the track and Jimmy still dropped in and talked things over. Now, Mammy, you've got good business head. I want to know what you think of this. Old Cornelia couldn't change the furniture around without asking. Little things, little things. They had been so sweet when they were little. Granny wished the old days were back again with the children young and everything to be done over. It had been a hard pull, but it was not too much for her. When she thought of all the food she had cooked and the clothes she had cut and sewed and all the garden she made, well, the children would have to wait. Be looking for a young woman with a peaked Spanish comb in her hair and the painted fan. Digging post holes changed a woman. Riding country roads in the winter when the women had their babies was another thing. Sitting up nights with sick horses and sick Negroes and sick children and hardly ever losing one. John, I hardly ever lost one of them. John would see that. As Granny lay there, thinking about her children.
Come in, kids. Don't stay out too late.
What does a woman do when she has put on the white veil and set out the white cake for a man and he doesn't come? She tried to remember. No, I swear he never harmed me in that. See, years she had prayed against remembering him and against losing her soul in the deep pit of hell, and now the two things were mingled in one, and the thought of him was a smoky cloud from hell that moved and crept in her head when she had just got rid of Dr. Harry and was trying to rest him in it. Don't let the wounded vanity get the upper hand of you. Plenty of girls get jilted. You were kilted, weren't you? Mother.
I've been telling you.
Mother, Father Connolly is here.
I went to Holy Communion only last week. Tell him I'm not as simple as all that.
He just wants to say a few words to you.
Go wash your face, child. You look funny. Well, are you tongue-tied? Whose birthday is it? Are you going to give a party?
Oh no, Mother, oh no.
No what, Cornelia? Hi, Hapsy.
Hey, you haven't changed a bit. Is there anything I can do for you?
I want you to find George. Find him and be sure to tell him I forgot about him. I want him to know that I had a husband just the same and my children and my house like any other woman. A good house too, and a good husband that I loved and 5 children out of him. Better than that, I hoped for even. Tell him I was given back everything he took away from me and more.
Her eyes opened very wide, and the room stood out like a picture she had seen somewhere. Dark colors with shadows rising toward the ceiling in long angles. The tall black dresser gleamed with nothing on it but John's picture, enlarged from a little one, with John's eyes very black when they should have been blue. You never saw him, so how do you know how he looked? But the man insisted the copy was perfect, and it was very rich and handsome. For a picture, yes, but it's not my husband. The table by the bed had a linen cover and a candle and a crucifix. The light was blue from Cornelia's pink silk lampshades. No sort of light at all, just frippery. You had to live 40 years with kerosene lamps to appreciate honest electricity. She felt very strong, and she saw Dr. Harry with a rosy nimbus around him.
You look like a saint, Dr. Harry, and I vow that's the closest you'll ever come to one. Cornelia, is that lightning? I hear thunder. Is that a storm coming? Call in the children. Is that you, Hapsy?
Oh no, Mother.
I'm not going, Cornelia. I'm taken by surprise. I can't go.
You'll find Hapsy.
I'll never find her.
Oh no. Stretched herself with a deep breath and blew out the light.
The Jilting of Granny Weatherall, take 1.
Don't tell me what I'm going to be. It's Cornelia. Dang it. Beautiful. That I'd like to spank her.
Mother, how do you feel now?
But I don't like my having.
You're gonna say, go wash your face, child. You look fun.
No what, Cornelia?
Anything that would...
Hapsy, George, Lydia, Jimmy?
Don't worry, darling. They'll be here soon. You're way too happy.
You are